What are you doing? Look at all the fuzz you create. You never stop shedding. I mean, it is like a constant. He has very thick fur, but he never stops shedding. And his sister, you know, we brush her, but he doesn't really care about brushing. He just wants to chase his own fluff. Yeah, it's just really weird. He's never not shed when you petted him. It's really, really strange. I'll try not to look too far into the sink. Last night, the pot roast went well. It was good. It turned out really nice, but it went from being a pot roast to being beef stew, which also tasted really great. And I made some Cheddar Bay biscuits last night. Red Lobster, if you're not aware, makes those Cheddar Bay biscuits mix in a box that's in your baking aisle. And I've just got some really nice cheddar cheese, and I always add twice the regular amount of cheddar cheese to the biscuits and mix them up, and oh, they're really good. Last night they were exceptionally good for some reason. They were baked just perfectly. Maybe it was the cheese, because I put a lot of cheese in there. So we have the fellow. I'm going to use paper today instead of the metal mesh filter, because I want to see what that does. I'm actually curious. I want to know if the paper blows out, because there's a lot more pressure in this than in, of course, in the little shower head here. So I'm interested to see if there's any kind of a blowout or an issue like that. We really won't be able to tell from the paper, because by the time we're done, the paper will be caked with coffee. So, you know, that's going to be a little bit more difficult to ascertain. But we can kind of see how the coffee looks and tastes and smells. Nope, turn her on first. This is the Black Kahawa Coffee. It is East African coffee. It's roasted here in Columbus. Unfortunately, there's a best before date rather than a created date, and they're going to tell me that it's best before August, which, you know, if it was roasted this year, maybe the beginning of February when I think I bought the coffee, I think that's reasonable. August seems like a pretty solid time to be like, I think we need to, I'm going to do 19, one more bean. Yeah, a couple more beans, there we go. I think that's a good stop. Holy crap! I don't know if you saw that or not. I apologize. I'm used to seeing trucks hauling building stuff or hauling furniture for someone to move in, or somebody bought new furniture, or somebody's getting new flooring in, or somebody. I've never seen a car trailer. That was a giant dually long bed Dodge something hauling a car trailer behind it. So either somebody, I've never seen a car delivered back there. So that's, I don't know if you saw that or not, but that was my holy shit. I'd never seen, I know Carvana delivers cars. I don't know how they deliver cars. They probably do, depending on the area and what's in the area and their delivery, I guess. They could either deliver single or multiple cars. I have never seen that back there before. That was interesting. Oh, wow, how wild. We're gonna dial this up. I should have spritzed it. I'm gonna spritz it in there. I'm gonna risk it here. I'm gonna give it a little spritz inside of the thingy. You really shouldn't do that, because now the inside of that's going to be wet. And that's not ideal. Any pieces that might pop back up here could get stuck on the top of that. And, you know, I'm not coating all the beans, so hopefully that'll break up the static enough. Static in the receptacle is good, but as you can kind of see, it's a little bit more messier up top here, which is not ideal. So I'll pull that out and clean it out a little bit later. But yeah, no static up here, so that did the job. So because this is a pressure valve on the bottom of this. We'll be able to put this on top of here and use it to weigh without fear of water getting shot out the bottom. We'll also get ourselves a little spoon so we can stir that up. So yeah, so I'm not using the metal shower screen here. I'm using an actual paper filter that came with the coffee maker. I'll give this a little bit of a scrub here. This doesn't feel like it's any harder or softer than it was when I first bought the AeroPress. It doesn't feel like it's getting suffering from, like, I don't know. I don't like to say dry rot. It kind of sounds gross when it's applied to foodstuffs, but I don't feel any like hardening here. It still feels as supple as it did when I first bought it, and I've had this for several years. So yeah, I took it to work with me a lot to make coffee at work when necessary, because the coffee at work, and looking back at the old office that where we worked at, actually the drip coffee was actually really great. The problem at the new office was they turned them all into K-cups. There's no drip coffee. It was all K-cups, and oof, not to be snobby, but oof, K-cups are not my cup of coffee. Let's get this. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter how many grams I put in here. I'm going to try to fill it up to the top, but we'll do about 250. There we go, 252. And then we'll let it sit for about 3 minutes, and then we'll give it a stir. We'll let it sit for another minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes, depending. And then we'll put it in the coffee cup, and we'll see how that works. See, the only reason I'm testing out with the, well, just to experiment because it's fun, and I still have quite a few of these papers left, but this shower screen, or this metal mesh, is very fine, but it still lets some ground particulates get through, and they settle on the bottom of the cup. Every time I've used this device, it has put some just small little particulates that don't really matter. It's one of those things where you can just swish the bottom of the cup, they kind of disappear for a second, and you can just down it and be like, grainy. And you don't have to worry about it. Which doesn't sound ideal when I say it that way, but it's fine. It'll be fine. We all enjoy our coffees in our own ways. Some of us don't want to waste that kind of stuff. And as you can see, okay, well, that has, okay, so why? Why are you dripping? That's very confusing. It didn't do that before, but now, dripping. It didn't do that before. I could sit it there and it didn't drip at all. I wonder if, is it coming around the sides? I'm scared to. Ooh, yeah, I went the wrong way there. I mean, oh, okay, well, and that's my stupid. And I didn't realize that until just this very moment. See, this is a rubber gasket around here. So it's designed to use this with the rubber gasket in order to keep the coffee from coming out around the sides of the device. You can kind of see what I'm talking about here. It's actually coming around from the top, from this part right up here. And that's because that rubber stopper is not there. So it's actually coming out from around the top. There's no rubber up there. It's just hard plastic. So there's no seal. So that's exactly what's happening, which means when I press this stopper down, we're going to see a lot of leakage around the bottom, which might be a problem. But we'll see. That's the joy of experimentation. And I didn't really think about that before. So we'll
So we'll work with that. Yeah, look, I've already leaked out a bunch of coffee. Yeah, so that's exactly what it is. It's this stopper is required in order for the fellow to work as intended. So you can't really use these papers because they're not designed to hold back anything. And this rubber ring is designed to hold back something. That's very interesting. I've seen people talk about and review this, but I don't know if I've really ever seen anybody try to use the paper with it. I mean, maybe their brains wrap around this stuff a lot easier and they can immediately see that this rubber stopper is absolutely necessary for the device. Okay, well, I've been going on quite a bit here. Let's get this stirred up a little bit, and we'll wait about 30 seconds. And then we will press through, and we'll watch the magic happen as it showers out all over the place. It could be worse. Could be worse. Could be no coffee at all. That would be awful, wouldn't it? You can kind of see how far I got there and what was happening. This is a necessary part. We can invert this. It's still oozing coffee out. I don't know if this is not safe. This is not safe. I do not recommend you try this at home. Unfortunately, you are going to have to look into my sink now because I'm going to, the best of my ability, take this off. There might be residual coffee sitting right here. Okay, and off. All right, so we can kind of, actually, this is interesting. We can kind of see what's happening here. Let me pull off the paper. And you can see this clogged big time right here. And nothing was going to get through that. And it's not really, it's even clogged kind of into the paper. So paper, not the way to go. You have to use the shower screen. So we're going to clean off the edge a little bit here because we got a lot of particulates everywhere. I'm gonna clean off this edge. I'm gonna clean this off a little bit. So I mean, basically, this could damage. If you try to use paper, it could basically damage the device, which I have now learned. Whoa! Oh, look at that! The valve was open. Okay. How very interesting. I've also lost quite a bit of coffee, which is a little disappointing. There's not a whole hell of a lot I can do about that. And all the coffee has come up here to the top. So let me just continue on. Oh yeah, see that? Yeah, that's so much better and easier, which makes sense because you're not trying to push coffee through it. All right, well, there you go. Today we learned, so this is probably going to taste not at its best because of what we just observed and went through. But it's good. I like experimenting and learning and stuff like that. I mean, that makes sense. So you can kind of see what happened here. Yeah, everything was trying to shoot through the middle there, and it got clogged up, so it wouldn't shoot anymore. And I'm probably going to have to pass some water through that a couple times in order to get it to where it needs to be. So I'm just going to make the assumption that this is not going to be great. Yeah, after, oh, that's sour. That's interesting. And very, yeah, sour and grainy and, that is not it at its best. But, you know, that's experimentation and fun like that. So, yeah, you cannot use the paper filters that come with your AeroPress for the shower head. You cannot use those with the fellow Prismo. What have I been calling it? I thought have I been calling it the Prismo? Yeah, I've probably been screwing that all up, haven't I? Yeah, now we've got, I mean, this is the way it should look. Pop this out. There's a lot going on here that happened because of leaking all the way around. We got coffee particulates all around the filter, or all around the area here, and they kind of leaked out around the device. And then, of course, it leaked out around this device as well. So, yeah. All right. So, I mean, people probably knew that, I guess. And that's why they use the shower screen that comes with it rather than using the paper, because the paper will clog immediately and force all the water to channel around the paper and down and through the outside ring here, because like I said, there's no rubber gasket here at all. The rubber gasket is here, and that is what creates the seal. Ta-da! Knowledge. But I was curious. I didn't know, so now I do, and that's pretty cool. Thank you for watching today. I really appreciate it. I love learning things, and I hope that you got something out of this as well. Unfortunately, I didn't get a good cup of coffee out of it, and you can kind of see there's some, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of particulates in the bottom of that, which, you know, not nearly as many as it could have been if I'd have kept pressing through, but I will say, definitely not as many as what I would get with just using the mesh. So I'll make myself another cup of coffee here in a little bit. I'll edit this up, and it'll be uploaded now. That's not how it works. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Tuesday. Bye.